55th GST Council Meeting. The 55th GST Council Meeting, chaired by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, focused on crucial tax reforms and adjustment to streamline taxation and address economic needs. Key highlights of the 55th GST Council Meeting: items that became cheaper. Fortified rice kernels. The GST rate on FRKs supplied through the public distribution system has been reduced to 5%. This move aims to promote fortified rice, addressing malnutrition and improving public health. Globally, countries like USA and Japan incentivize fortified food distribution to combat nutrient deficiencies effectively. Gene therapy has been fully exempted from GST. This exemption encourages cutting-edge healthcare innovation and accessibility. Similar practices exist in countries like Germany and Singapore, which offer tax incentives for advanced medical research and therapies to ensure affordability for patients. Long-range surface-to-air missile (LRSAM) systems, equipment used in LRSAM manufacturing, is now exempt from IGST. This decision supports India's defense sector by reducing cost and boosting indigenization. Globally, nations like Israel and South Korea incentivize tax benefits for defense manufacturing to strengthen their strategic capabilities. Inspection equipment for IAEA. Imports of equipments and materials for inspections by the IAEA are exempt from IGST. This exemption fosters international compliance with nuclear safety regulations. Such measures align with global practices where countries cooperate with international agencies to maintain safety and security. Direct sale of black pepper and resins. Black pepper and resins sold directly by agricultural producers are now GST free, supporting farmers and promoting direct market linkages. Countries like France and Italy provide tax exemptions on direct farm produce sales to encourage sustainable agricultural and local economies. Items that became costlier: old and used vehicles, including EVs. The GST rate on old and used vehicles has increased from 12 to 18%, including electric vehicles. This adjustment aims to address revenue considerations. Globally, countries like the UK impose higher taxes on older vehicles to encourage eco friendly replacements, aligning taxation with environmental goals. Ready to eat popcorn. Pre-packaged and labeled popcorn will attract 12% GST. Caramel popcorn is subjected to 18% GST, and unpackaged and unlabeled popcorn remains at 5% GST. Differentiated differentiated taxation based on packaging and value addition is common globally. For example, the European Union applies varied VAT rates on processed and unprocessed food items to reflect the degree of value addition. Autoclaved aerated concrete blocks. ACC blocks with more than 50% fly ash now attract 12% GST. This step aims to regulate the construction sector's environmental impact. Globally, countries like China levy higher taxes on construction materials with lower sustainability indices, encouraging greener alternatives. Corporate sponsorship services are now under the forward charge mechanism, making sponsors liable to pay GST directly. This change aligns with international norms where taxation is simplified by shifting liability to the provider. What is GST? GST is a comprehensive indirect tax levied on most goods and services consumed domestically. It aims to simplify India's taxation system and reduce cascading effects. GST follows the value added tax principle, where tax is levied only on the value added at each stage of the supply chain. This ensures uniformity and reduces tax duplication. Similar VAT based systems are prevalent globally, including in the European Union and Canada. The goal of GST is to unify multiple indirect taxes into a single tax regime, realizing the vision of one nation, one tax. It fosters ease of doing business and enhances compliance. Proposed in 2003 by the Kelkal Task Force, GST was based on the VAT principle to modernize India's indirect taxation. The Constitution 122nd Bill 2016 led to the enactment of Constitution 101 Amendment Act formalizing GST implementation. GST was launched nationwide on 1st July 2017, making a significant milestone in India's economic reforms. The GST Council is a collaborative platform comprising representatives from center and states, ensuring cooperative federalism in tax policy making. Established under Article 279A of the Constitution, the Council derives its authority from the 101 Constitutional Amendment Act 2016. The Council's key role is to make recommendations on GST related issues, including rates, exemptions, and implementation mechanisms. It also determines tax slabs for various goods and services, balancing revenue needs with affordability. Chairperson Union Finance Minister, a total of 33 members, 2 members from the central government, 31 members from the state governments and union territories, the Union Minister of State for Finance or Revenue and Finance Taxation Ministers from each state. Decisions require three-fourth majority of the members present and voting. The central government's voting share is 33%, ensuring balanced representation. The 55th GST Council meeting underscores the dynamic nature of India's taxation system, addressing both economic and social priorities. By integrating international best practices and refining policies, the GST Council aims to achieve a balance between fiscal sustainability and public welfare.